do, do. Oh, hey there. Sammy here with our tarot astrology reading. It's so good to see you. So good to be here tonight. And yeah, I'm excited. We have a delightful evening up ahead. First, we will chant. We'll take a few deep breaths and then we'll chant with our sound bowl and tap into the healing universal sound. Welcome. So good to see you. Yay. Hi Tracy, it's so good to see you here tonight. Hi, my love, good to see you here tonight. Thank you. So we're just getting settled in here. Got some lovely people here on the live, and we're gonna take a few deep breaths together, do a little chant with the sound bowl, and then I'll talk about what's happening up in the stars and in the sky for a couple of minutes, and then, you know it, we'll read some cards. And I have a couple little, I have a fun little story just of magic to share too. But without further ado, let's get comfortable and get ready to take a few deep breaths together. Inhaling. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Oh, it's so good to see you, Russell. Hi, Salvatore. Welcome, everybody. I'm so happy we're all here together on this beautiful Wednesday. It is, I think, just a few days shy of the full moon, and it feels so good to meditate together. And in case you're new to any chanting, Om is the sound, the word. It doesn't have one exact definition, but it's kind of the original sound of the universe. It's like, if you've ever heard about how sound waves or music or vibration is really what everything is made of, then Om, the chant of Om, is said to be like the baseline source essence of all life, of all vibration. So I find it a really beautiful, yes, Om. It's a really, for me, just like quick, effective, and really pleasurable way to just be in this moment and to feel happy and to feel calm and to feel like myself and to feel connected to everything and with love. So that's why I like to chant it, and I'd love to hear how it feels for you, if you feel like sharing, or what chants you guys might enjoy doing. So let's talk a bit about what's happening in the stars and in the sky tonight and tomorrow. So the moon looks so beautiful. If you happen to be in a place where you can go outside and look at the sky and maybe it's not too cloudy, the moon is getting pretty full, like a juicy pearl full of vegan milk. I think that might have been a stretch, but whatever it is, beautiful. And what's happening right now in the sky is interesting because so we have our wheel of the zodiac that's all around us. When we look up at the sky, there's the 12 constellations, just like the clock face, 1 to 12. Aries being the first, Taurus being the second, Gemini, Cancer, all the way around the wheel. And the planets are sort of clustered in a very specific pattern right now, where we call the numbers across from each other axes. So for example, 12 o'clock, midnight, and 6 o'clock are right across from each other. They're on the same axes. 3 and 9 are on the same axes. So right now we have a lot of activity happening in Aries. The moon is in Aries, where the moon will be until tomorrow, and then the moon will go into Taurus for the full moon on the 31st. But right now the moon is in Aries, and also Mars is in Aries. So that's two big, powerful planets. Aries, which is about boldness and action and directness and passion and creativity. And then the moon, which is about sensitivity and nurturing and love, and those two are together in Aries. And opposite Aries, on the opposite end of the same axis, is Libra. And Libra right now has two very important planets. Venus, the planet of love, and Mercury, the planet of communication. So on the same axis, we have two big, powerful planets in Aries, Mars and the moon. And then over in Libra, we get to have Venus and Mercury. And that means that that axis is very important right now, about that balancing act. And it's even more interesting because Libra is the sign that's all about balance. So basically, on the one end of we have Aries, and Aries is all about authenticity. Aries is, I don't know if you know Aries is, or welcome if you have any Aries friends, or if you have Aries in your chart, or if you just relate to that archetype. But Aries is not gonna bullshit. Aries is not gonna dance around things or sweep things under the rug or sugarcoat or fake things. Aries is going to stand up for the truth and the true identity, and is more concerned about that than really anything else. And then Libra, across the axes, is very much about diplomacy and fairness and deferring to other people's opinions and kind of wanting to work things out and maintain sort of peacefulness in the environment and hear all sides of the story first. So in that way they're different, but they're related because they both have to do with creating and then seeing things through. So if you think about Aries as very much creating something, and then Libra is very much about like fine-tuning it, polishing it, making sure that it delivers the message it's supposed to deliver, smoothing it, making it something that everyone can hear, making it something that has the importance of the meaning but also is beautiful and palatable. So they're very different, but they are connected, and so that's very important right now. And then also, so Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries, the ram, if you picture like the beginning of time, like a bull that's just intensely excited and has things that it really wants and needs bursting into life, that's Aries. And then second up is Taurus, the bull, which comes next, is number 2. And that right now is where we do have Uranus is in Taurus, so we have a planet in Taurus. And then opposite Taurus is Scorpio on the same axis. And Scorpio is where the sun is right now because it is Scorpio season. So we have the sun in Scorpio, making it a very important sign right now. Also, we do have Uranus in Taurus, which is the planet of individuality and creativity and uniqueness and being outside the box and marching to the beat of your own drummer. And then soon, once the moon leaves Aries and says goodbye to its friend Mars, and the moon will be entering into Taurus where Uranus is. So then we just have a lot happening on these two axes that are right next to each other. And then the Uranus-Scorpio axis, the Taurus where Uranus is, Scorpio axis, is all about, Taurus is about sensuality and being really grounded and practical and in reality and in whatever is happening around it. Whereas Scorpio is about what's just beyond what we can sense, beyond what we can see and hear and smell and taste, and going deep within and wanting more and wanting different. And whereas Taurus has this kind of sensuality that like really luxuriates in the way things feel and taste and smell, and Scorpio has more of this kind of like sexuality that's more about like what is hidden and what is in the shadow. And so those two balances, balancing both of those two things is what it's all about today and tomorrow and going into this full moon. So the first axis we talked about, the Aries Libra axis, it's like, okay, balancing your intense creativity and who you are and committing to that, and then balancing that with sharing it in a way that is considerate and takes into account different perspectives and brings an element of beauty to the message. And then the other axis, the Taurus Scorpio axis, is about balancing being in touch with and appreciating and loving and luxuriating in what's real around you and what you can see and feel and hear and touch and taste, along with what's mysterious and what's hidden and what's potential and what's deep within us. So that's true. Today is Wednesday, and all through tomorrow and even into Friday, those two axes are what it's all about for us. And again, we're coming up on the full moon soon, and the full moon is a beautiful, perfect time to celebrate, reflect back on everything that you have accomplished and this big and small things, things people might not even see, or big things over the past couple of weeks, or even the past 6 months, the past year, seeing how hard you've worked and seeing the ways that you have been creative, and then just celebrating and enjoying and relaxing, because the moon gets so full, like bursting, and then she just starts to melt away again into the darkness. And so we get to feel that. It's like the top of the roller coaster, and then the tension, and it just diffuses, and we get more and more relaxed. So you can look forward to that in the next couple of days. Oh, I'm so happy. Yay! I'm so glad this is resonating. And if you have more questions about it, please never hesitate to ask. And I can always try to share more about whatever it is that most interests you in upcoming lives. So thank you for sharing that. And yeah, so that's where we're at. That's where the stars and the sky are. And let's pull a few cards now together. And while I shuffle, it's a great time to take a few deep breaths and think about if there's anything you'd like a little support around. If there's anything that's been on your mind, now is a great time to bring it up front and center in your consciousness, and maybe the cards will bring some resolution. And if not, that's perfect too. Oh yeah, I said I was going to share a little story. So I have a really good friend who's living across the country now, and we've done a little bit of pen paling over the past couple of years. But they told me a month or two ago that there's this app that they like to send audio messages back and forth on. And they were like, why don't you download it? Because then we can stay in touch, and that's the way I like to stay in touch. And I said, oh yeah, that's great, but I kept forgetting and not getting to it. And then today, all of a sudden, I was like, you know what? I want to stay in touch with that friend. I really care about that friend. I need to download that app. So I downloaded it, and I sent them a little message just saying hi, filling them in a bit about what's going on over here and asking how they're doing. And within a couple of hours of that, my beautiful, lovely, amazing fiance, love of my life, and I were taking our daily stroll to the mailbox. And guess what was in the mailbox? But a letter from that same friend with a beautiful little beaded amulet in it. And it's so funny because I sent them a message virtually, and then they responded physically. And so I think that story is a really good illustration of the Taurus Scorpio axis we were talking about, the sensual and the real reality And then on the other end, this like mysterious, mystical, deep realm. So yeah, I did this one thing, and then this other thing happened. I sent this virtual message, and then this real thing that I could touch appeared instantly, which felt very magical to me. And if you have any stories like that, I would love to hear them. But that was pretty cool. And yeah, let's pull these cards. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Our first card of the evening. Oh, and before I turn over the first card, let's see, I have a question here from Tracy, my friend, saying, have you considered making a YouTube channel sharing astrology in your life? Oh, I am so touched and flattered that you ask. Thank you. And I actually, every night after doing this live, I post this live on YouTube. And then my partner and I, my fiance, she and I just started, we have an Instagram, Dos Caracolitos, where we post about our lives, and we just started to put it on YouTube. So that's Dos Caracolitos, also means 2 snails in Spanish. I'm Mexican and she's Dominican. So anyway, we are hoping to share more and more going forward, and we will be sharing a lot this week, actually, if you want to check us out there, because tomorrow we are going to Missouri. We have some exciting things going on in our family, so we'll be sharing more and more about that. But let's see what is in the cards, and thanks again for asking. Okay, our first card tonight. Ooh, Ace! Ace of Wands. I love it. I love seeing this Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is magic and action. And we were just talking about, oh, and the name of the YouTube tarot, it's, let's see. I think it's Sammy Tarot Astrology Readings. Sammy, S-A-M-I, Tarot, T-A-R-O-T, Astrology Readings, and I'll put a link up to it, and I'll make sure that that's what it is. Thank you for asking. Okay, I should probably figure that out. I think it's in my bio. Thank you. I think it's in my bio, or I might have switched the bio to the link to the poetry book I just put out, because the poetry book is actually broken up into sections based on the 12 zodiac signs. So I thought it would be good to share it here. But I will be putting the YouTube thing on here too. And but if you do feel like checking out the new poetry book, the astrology book, I just released it. I think it came out yesterday, and it's called Where We're Always All Right. Where we're always all right. Okay. Where were we? Oh yes, the Ace of Wands. A perfect card for what we were talking about, because we were just talking all about Aries tonight, because Aries is where the moon is, and Aries is where Mars is, and Aries is directly across from Libra, where Venus and Mercury are. So there is a lot of Aries in the air tonight and tomorrow. And Aries is the first first sign of all. Aries is like chapter 1 of the zodiac. It's where it all kicks off. It's that burst of fiery, passionate energy that initiates the entire journey of the zodiac. So it's just like the Ace of Wands here, and it has unlimited potential, and it's extremely creative and energetic. And so here we have this wand, and I think this is a great thing to carry into the full moon and beyond with you, and just know how much creative power you have, and especially with this full moon and Halloween, not needing to force it, just trusting that there is a part of you that is so hot and passionate and fiery and knows who it is and it has no choice but to share it. There's so much strength there. So that is the Ace of Wands, and this is our first card for tonight. Our second card for tonight is the King of Pentacles. Ooh. So we were just talking a lot about Taurus, right? And the grounded sensuality and really enjoying your physical environment and what you can see and taste and touch. And this King of Pentacles card is very much like a Taurus party, a Taurus, perfect day for a Taurus is chilling here on this lush throne in soft robes with beautiful smelling flowers and ripe juicy fruits and everything just warm and abundant and lavish and natural. And that's the energy that is available for us right now. Also, you have one wand here, which is like unity and infinity, and then you also have this one pentacle, which kind of looks like the full moon. So I think this is a full moon that's going to have a lot of abundance for us, and especially sensual abundance. So whatever you enjoy, whether it's putting lotion on your skin really slowly, listening to music or singing, all of these things are perfect to be doing this week and with the full moon. And then at the same time, we also do have Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn, which is a lot of abundant earth energy and a lot of success energy that we have here. And this fiery boldness of this Aries energy and this action is often really connected to having all of this delightful sensual pleasure that the King of Pentacles gets to enjoy. Our third and final card for tonight is... Yes! We're doing this together. I just want to say this is the energy that is created with all of us interacting. Every little moment changes because you are here and watching this. And if you're watching the replay, I'm feeling you too. So the last card for tonight, we're ending with a bang. Boom. Strength. Strength. You have here a figure who is calmly and happily taming this wild, incredibly strong, ferocious lion. And I think what you see sort of is also like this and this is very similar to this, because here it's like you have this Aries energy, which is like the Aries energy, and the wand is like the fire of this lion. This lion here is ferocious and bold. You know what, guys? This is the Aries Libra axis in a nutshell. The Aries energy of that boldness, that creativity, and then the Libra energy of sort of like delicately keeping that intensity in check so that it can be harnessed in a positive way, and that it's not running wild and wreaking havoc, but instead is a source of power. It's also a team. These two together, it's like, what can these two together not do? This like strength of each of them. One of them has the bravery to touch what might seem scary to others, to put their hand on the face right next to these huge sharp teeth of this incredible source of power, this lion. And the lion is just gently like licking her hand, or their hand, like a little kitten. And then this figure has the strength of, this bravery, willing to go there. And the lion has the bravery and the willingness to love and to connect and to let its energy be calm at times. So having all of this fiery energy, it doesn't mean always needing to be going at full steam. It could be letting it simmer and letting it interact in a loving and balanced way with the world. So this card is also just a symbol that you are strong. And when you see this card, it's a reminder that that you have a lot of resources, you have a lot of energy, you know who you are, and you can get through things. You can get through way more than you think you can. And there's this infinity sign on top of the figure's head. And to me, that's also infinite strength. It's a reminder that you have infinite strength. And it might sometimes feel hard to believe that or be in touch with it, but it's always true. And a great way to get in touch with it is to feel your creative self and also be in touch with your senses. So that's a great thing for this full moon, I think. You are strong and you are creative, and you can really enjoy your environment. So, and then the last thing I'm going to say with the Strength card is I also, whenever I see this card, I think of meditation, because even though we have this creative... Sorry, I'm going to wrap up now. I have my alarm going off for something very exciting, which you can see on our other page, Dos Caracolitos. But the mind is also a source of incredible energy and strength and power that needs to be worked with and nurtured and cared for and paid attention to and guided. And I don't know if the word controlled is right, but directed, I think, is a better word. The mind can be directed. And that's an important message of this card, I think, also, is that the more you can direct your mind into focusing on what is possible and looking at the best case scenario and looking at how to get to that instead of running wild into fears, that's where this strength and this serenity and this lovely connection with nature can really flourish. So, meditation. And with that, speaking of meditation, let's take a couple deep breaths together, and then we're going to chant Om Shanti. Om, we talked about as the universal oneness, and then Shanti means peace. So we're going to say Om Shanti, 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 and we say Shanti 3 times just to invite in peace to the past, to the present, and to the future, and everywhere. So together, let's chant. We'll take a couple deep breaths and then we'll chant. Shanti, Shanti, Om. Thank you so much for being here. The next video will be from Missouri. So I'll see you over there. And in the meantime, have a beautiful, beautiful night and day.